today you'll be receiving from a message full of God's power to help you become everything that God has created you to be. You know, God sent his son, Jesus, to die for you to have a life of abundance and for you to be an ambassador for him. What does that mean? That your life should represent his goodness. It's time to be about it. Tune in today's message and you'll be blessed.
Hebrews chapter 1, and then Ecclesiastes chapter 3. All right, I think I got everything going now. It's got a lot of stuff tonight. Hebrews chapter 1 and Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And in fact, go to 2 Timothy first. 2 Timothy. While you keep your finger in those other two passages. I'm just going to start with verse 1 here. And again, if you're in the sanctuary, you can follow with us on the screens. I encourage you to take notes. If you're watching online, you can also follow along with us and also use some of your electronic devices to see the word for yourself as well. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1 says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous or dangerous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, thankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away." Well, I don't know about you, but the last couple of years, that first verse, "This know you also, that in the last days dangerous times shall come," has come more alive to me in the last couple of years. We're certainly living in dangerous times and I didn't read all of it, but for all of those reasons. For men shall be lovers of themselves. I mean, it's difficult to even know what is the truth out here. A lot of things going on. So tonight what I want to talk to you about is simply this. If I was going to give it a title, it would be this: Overcoming Difficult Seasons. Overcoming difficult seasons. How many of you would say right now you're going through some sort of difficult season in your life? Raise your hand so I'll know. Raise it high. All right, turn around, look around. Looks like we got the right message. Overcoming difficult seasons. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Verse 1 says this: "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance." If you continue reading the scriptures, you'll see that time is listed out. Well, I want to give you 5 keys tonight to overcoming difficult seasons. And the first one is very simply this, is knowing this, that seasons are temporary. Somebody say, seasons are temporary. Look at somebody else and say, seasons don't last always. When we read this is the word of God telling us, to everything there is a season, and to everything there is a time. This is God's promise to us that seasons don't last always. And sometimes when you're in a season of difficulty, it can feel like it can never end. But let me say it again, it's a temporary situation. It may have come to destroy, but it's also come to go. I've heard it say a lot of time is trouble don't last always. Or you'll hear some people say, this too shall pass. And sometimes that's the thing that's hard to accept. The only thing that is permanent in this life is God and his promises. I'm going to say it again because that was good. And I'm going to say it this way. Nothing is permanent except for God and his promises. Hebrews chapter 1. I'm going to read verses 10 through 12, and I'm going to read it from the Amplified Version. It says, "And further, you, Lord, did lay the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands." Check this out, heavens and earth. "They will perish, but you remain and continue permanently. Somebody say permanently. They will all grow old and wear out like a garment, like a mantle thrown about oneself. You will roll them up and they will be changed and replaced by others. But you remain the same, and your years will never end nor come to failure. Only thing permanent. And here's the interesting thing is that a lot of times when people get into a season of crisis, is they make permanent decisions to a temporary problem. A couple things about seasons I want to point out to you is that seasons always go away. Also, another thing about seasons that's very important, as I'm just laying a foundation here, is that seasons guarantee change of some sort. The third thing I want to point out about a season is because you know a season is temporary, a season always gives hope. Now, we would understand that here in Michigan. You know, the Bible talks about in Genesis 8:22, it says, while the earth remaineth, seed, time, and harvest, summer and cold will not cease. Now, when we get into the cold, and even though, you know, right now in Michigan we are unseasonably warm, we understand, like, you don't throw away your bathing suit just because it's wintertime right now. You don't throw away your shorts and your sandals just because it's snowing outside. In fact, how many of you know when the best time to get the best deals for summertime clothes? It's in the winter, when nobody else is looking, because you're having an expectation that the season is going to change. Even though your heating bill could be through the roof because you're having to turn the heat on to keep your house warm, and you may be freezing on the outside. Seasons change. And the interesting thing about it is that a season, depending on how you look at it, should produce a hope in your life rather than a permanent decision to stop living your life.
I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I want to invite you to subscribe as well as visit our website at michelleferguson.org. We have some materials there that can help you as you walk through life, live the life that God created for you. As always, I'm Michelle Ferguson, helping you to discover, develop, and celebrate who God has created you to be. See you next time.